Hello and welcome back to Softcore History. My name's Jake Goldman. I'll be your host for this week. I'm joined as always by my two co-hosts, Dan Regester and Rob Fox.
What's up, boys?
Hello.
Hey, guys. Hey, we got a really sporty-looking Dan Regester today, guys. I don't know if you can see him. If you're not watching on YouTube, you should be. Check us out on YouTube. Check out our channel. Subscribe to that shit.
Blondes just have more fun.
Yeah, Dan is blonde again.
Should absolutely stay away from any protest about Israel and Palestine right now. It doesn't even matter which side it is. Those people will be fucking terrified of you.
It's like,
Or maybe you should go.
I think I'm more racially ambiguous
You kind of are.
because I have the beard back.
But the blonde hair makes
The
it
short
shaved
crop
head.
blonde hair and the beard.
yeah, so I'm like a gay Palestinian.
Or
A fucking like dude who has like knockoff SS uniforms in his closet.
just Portuguese.
Yeah, I'm just embracing my roots.
Yeah. But
That should just be
You're literally bleaching your roots. What are you talking about?
I know.
whitewashing in a way.
Classic. That's our show, guys.
I mean, that's Portugal, though.
that is Portugal. That's very Portuguese
That's Portugal
of you.
through and through.
Yeah.
And
you
I'm
they
going
just-
back to the homeland in December, so
I'm jealous of all those countries that get off the hook for their imperialism and colonialism because they just ain't shit now. Like
The
Portugal,
Netherlands,
Belgium,
Portugal.
like
sorry my people
Denmark.
controlled the seas.
right.
Yeah.
We had
What good
we had
did
a
that
good like
do?
200-year run.
Stunning 200-year run.
Really good one.
One of the best.
One of the best. You know what I did this weekend? You know what I did today, actually?
Your episode that you're about to do?
I did that. Yeah, I did do that. But I'll tell you in a minute. But first, you should check out our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/softcorehistory. You get 2 extra episodes a week
2
of
additional
content.
episodes every week.
Yeah, so we do this episode for the masses. Then we do 2.
And we try to ring you in.
Yeah.
For our special boys and girl.
Boys and girl. There's 2. There's at least 2.
Yeah.
girls.
Well, you could probably use the plural, yeah.
Yeah. They're ladies.
But-
There's a couple ladies on Patreon.
The catalog's fucking huge because all our stuff's evergreen. So it's not just that 2 a week. It's just massive.
Hours and hours, hundreds of hours. But you're right. Our demographic's like 94% dudes.
It's, I'm cool with it.
Ladies, why do you hate history?
Yeah.
This is on you. I'm going to blame you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Get
that's
'em.
our spin-off show, right? We eventually just like catalog out contract out like Gabby and Courtney or something, and it's softcore
Okay.
history.
No, it's hardcore her story. Yeah.
Okay, we're going the opposite way. I thought you were going to be like fully red pill.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
That seems to work though.
But I
That's
will-
Very,
we'll have a- we'll have
very
a-
successful podcast just being misogynistic.
We can have a red pill one too. Look, I want to be like
Who's on the red pill?
I want to be like
episodes?
Disney here, all right? I want to own everything.
Yeah.
Right.
I want
You
a
get
red
full
pilled
spectrum history.
podcast, a black pilled podcast, a fucking
Clear
Gray
pill.
yeah, a fucking
all the
pink
pills.
pill, yeah, every
Yeah.
pill.
I want a pharmaceuticals cabinet of all the history podcasts.
yeah.
Yeah. But
It's weird. I don't think we fall under any umbrella of those.
no, we pissed off red hats.
We piss off everybody really.
Yeah.
Confederates,
Neolibs,
yeah.
libs,
everyone really.
fucking normals. Yeah.
Blokes. I really am just like when someone like if you came up to me and you were like, dude, someone got pissed off about something you guys said on the podcast, I'd be like,
Where? Which one?
Which yeah, what corner?
Was it because we were factually inaccurate, or we said something mean? Which one was it?
Like there's so
many
different.
There's so many points of failure for us.
I am
could
only
be.
upset if we piss somebody off because we're not funny.
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
only thing I care
It's like
about.
if this is not entertaining, if we don't, get you through that hour commute,
then
then I apologize.
That's us
the
not
only
doing
time I will apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I did today, I actually did a foraging class today.
A what?
I went foraging in the woods.
Why do you have to take a class? For
Why are
that?
you LARPing as a truffle pig?
I was not foraging for fungi, so I was not LARPing as
All
a
right, so
truffle
you're a
pig.
squirrel.
Yes, I was LARPing as a squirrel. I was
Squirrel
LARPing
boy.
That's right. In the rain, I spent 2 hours just picking plants and eating them.
Not just that, somebody had to teach you how to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, you know why? Because when people self-teach that shit,
They die in a bus like an asshole.
they die in a bus like an asshole. Rule number 1 of foraging is let someone that's written a book about it teach you how to do it. Like, definitely. Well, except for that guy on the bus. He was writing a
I
book.
want you to
think
refer to me as Supertramp now.
What, not Dragon anymore?
Just Supertramp
Why?
in his honor.
Oh, right. Yeah. The boy. Our boy from Emory.
In the wild.
I mean, I'm of the belief that anyone who calls himself an autodidact deserves to die. But if you believe you're an autodidact up specifically about mushrooms,
Yeah.
then
No, we asked the guy that was teaching. We were like, "Oh, are we gonna learn about mushrooms too?" He's like, "Dude, that's just a whole different ball game." Like,
Do you think as he was dying on that aisle of row that row of bus seats,
it's like a fucking mile away from a road?
he was tripping a little bit?
yeah,
Was there like a silver
definitely.
lining?
yeah. I mean, you get the DMT hit from death, and then B,
Oh, dude, the ultimate release.
the fucking whatever that
I
mushroom.
can't wait
was
for
gonna
that death.
Oh, we're talking
trip.
about. We're getting really close to topical right now in this conversation.
The death trip's gonna be sick because it's just the afterlife.
Yeah.
It's just all the DMT in your brain gets released.
The problem is
you have no concept of time when you dream, and that is the afterlife. So it could theoretically last forever.
Yeah, the problem is if your state of mind is shit,
You gotta have a positive mind.
you really got to be positive when
You
die.
only go to hell if you're just a pessimist.
If you think you're going,
You're
you're going.
And we've addressed this. Pessimism, it's just covering up for a lack of intelligence.
Yeah,
Basically.
Dan.
Hey, I'm, again,
I'm
most positive dude here.
He is. He's more positive than anyone. He
Look at
could.
this shirt I'm wearing right now.
You're just a tennis ball of a person today.
Okay, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's the schizophrenia.
Oh, we're leaning into that bit.
Well, I change my looks like every 2 weeks.
That's
I mean, if
Clearly.
you walked up to someone right now and you're like, "Hey, I'm a schizophrenic," they would believe you.
because people that aren't don't say that.
It's also the one disorder that nobody really claims yet.
No one's got that one.
No
yet.
one's like I'm.
It's all
part-
bipolar and stuff.
Yeah. No one's-
I'm like self-diagnosed bipolar. I'm an autodidact in psychology.
There's
so.
TikTok
schizophrenic.
influencers that are like, they have Tourette's, and they've convinced like a decent size of the population that they have Tourette's.
Yeah, and obviously everyone stole my valor a long time ago.
ADHD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, ADHD was like the 90s on the spectrum.
I don't want to. There's a big part of me that's like, okay, maybe you do have ADHD and you just weren't diagnosed as a kid or whatever. But look, if you didn't get told you had ADHD when you were in grade school and genuinely believe you were mentally retarded, because that's how people thought about ADHD back then. If you didn't know anything about it or anything, then you didn't really have
Wouldn't know
ADHD.
anything about it, Rob, because they would separate me from my classmates and take me to the trailer out back.
Trailer kid, huh?
Reading comprehension.
Yeah.
I became a professional writer.
That's right.
I had to
It's that
take,
easy, folks.
I had to take special reading classes when I was in first grade because I was behind.
I got put into.
Oh, this was like 14th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
College.
You had the UCF had some
Like halfway
trailers,
through
too.
college too.
It's
Yeah, right
called
behind the math
Valencia.
and physics building. I had to go to this like little trailer.
That's great. Yeah, I didn't have FCAT scores when I went into public school, so they thought I was stupid. They thought I just had zeros in my standardized tests, so they put me in remedial classes.
Just get that fucking GPA, bro.
Standardized
No.
testing is probably the downfall of education.
Um,
All the school funding is through the schools that do well.
Well, you're talking about No Child Left Behind.
Yeah, that's like a
specifically.
relatively new,
Yeah.
20 years at this point. But it always pissed me off because my best subject, the topic of this show, history,
Never covered.
not on any standardized test.
You know why? Because no one gives a fuck if a factory worker knows about the Roman Empire, dude.
I guess so, man.
Yeah, no, it's your curriculum's based around industrialization. It has been for way too long. But we're not talking about all that
I'm
today.
just saying, now that we're in a consumer economy, let's consider shoving history in there
Yeah, for sure.
and taking out math,
Science.
should not be reading or
No, it
English.
should be content. It should be the content industrial complex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would take out science. Like
Yeah.
you don't, because it's like there's like chemistry and biology questions that you just don't even.
But also, what are you going to do with that?
What are you gonna do with a photon? What are you gonna do?
We
with
are moving away from a
fucking
society
electron.
of doctors and electrical engineers and all that. And
Yeah.
just kind of lean into it, guys. Let's just all be
mean,
internet creators.
We are part of that.
I would
problem.
prefer that before I die, at some point, a robot takes over the prostate exams I have to have for the rest of my life, starting in 3 years.
Why don't
Yeah.
you just shove that microphone up your ass? Same thing.
We do it every fucking Sunday, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So today, I was reading I wanted to get into like mushroom trips and stuff like that. And I was like, it's a little playing out. Started diving around into different historical topics. And one came up that I read about a long time ago. I wanted to get reacquainted with. And then I just went down a really big rabbit hole. So today we're talking about mystery cults from antiquity. Mystery
Sweet.
cults are religious schools that were primarily based on secret knowledge that have been around different parts of the world for thousands and thousands of years. They had mystery cults in Egypt, Greece, Rome,
Some of them were
Persia.
just like sort of like inner circle religious stuff, right?
Oh no, these were like prominent religions in like.
But weren't there like religions within religions? Is what I mean.
Yeah, there were. We're gonna like the most famous one we'll talk about a little bit later is the Eleusinian mystery school or mystery cult. That was pretty much the most prominent religious group from like 1600 BC until like 400 AD.
What a run.
Dude, it's like a 2,000-year run that doesn't get talked about a lot.
Dude.
But it's actually one of the most interesting things we'll talk about today.
Meanwhile, we talk about is Heaven's Gate. Those guys lasted like 20 years.
They
Aren't they
Heaven's
still
Gate.
around?
There's one guy.
He was
One guy hung back and wrote.
to tell everyone about how.
Yeah.
To tell their tale.
Yeah, he manages like the website. They interview that guy like regularly.
What a gig.
He's like, yeah, I didn't do the thing.
He's the Spartan that got
Didn't,
left behind.
didn't they all castrate themselves?
A lot of them did. A lot of them castrated themselves. We can do a whole.
Chemically?
You know
Or
what?
The old-fashioned way.
Hold on. You know what? I'm not going to tell you. I'll do that episode for the Patreon in a few weeks.
Technically, castrating yourself with a knife is chemical castration.
You're just gonna
because
watch the
you have to,
documentary?
you have to bind those metals, fold the steel, and
Everything's organic. Dude.
everything's chemistry.
If it's carbon based, it's organic, right?
Ones and zeros, really.
Hey, maybe we shouldn't get rid of chemistry, guys. But yeah, they were most known for their influence in the Greco-Roman world during the transition into the Christian era, and they did last for about 2,000 years in prominence. So the most commonly
So
known
until now, the Christian or like
into like so the transition from
Oh.
pre-Christian era to Christian era, that was like the prominent thing. Like I said, the Eleusinian mystery school lasted from about 1600 BC to the 4th century AD. While the mystery cults are not completely understood because of their nature and name, they are centered around mystery. We do know a little bit about their influence on the culture of the time, as well as their influence on Christianity itself, too. See, one of the things we've talked about a lot, I think, is pagan continuity in Christianity.
yeah.
So, hey, you gotta get these people in. You gotta get them in the
Right.
fold.
Germans being like, oh, well, we don't celebrate the solstice with your Jesus. We hang a tree in our home.
Jake,
oh,
what
yeah,
if
that's...
what if you're giving them too much credit? What if they're just unoriginal assholes?
The Christians?
Yeah.
That's my entire episode. So you're on the right track.
Christianity is a meme page, actually.
It's Christianity is
We're
the
just
fuck Jerry of
aggregators, yeah.
cool
Yeah.
shit. Like
Yeah.
like everything cool you've ever seen on Fuck Jerry, someone else made. But you're like, ah man, I'm glad Fuck Jerry put it all together on
Right.
one grid.
At the end of the day, we're content aggregators.
We're literally doing that with history.
Rehashing stories that other people told.
I would actually argue that
What a cucked life. I watched sports all weekend, watched Better Men Than Me, and then I come here and we
Yeah,
talk
but I made
about...
money watching Better Men Than Me. That's how you beat the system.
That's like
That's how you
just-
get out of the
that's how you get out of
Yeah.
the matrix.
It's only...
That's
I'm not,
the red pill.
I'm not a cuck. I make them pay me to fuck my wife.
That's right. Wait, what? Anyway, early
As long as
Christianity.
you profit.
Yeah,
That's a take home at the end of the day.
They always dine and dash, though. And Courtney's like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, you always say don't worry about it.
And you got to multiply your revenue streams. Like, you're just a business.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Cool.
Yeah. It all comes out in the wash,
In what?
the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You're
yeah.
washing money now?
Hey man, what do you think this podcast is?
I knew
kidding.
you were holding back.
I'm not holding back anything.
We're actually way more successful than we tell Rob.
Yeah.
Rob
Perfect.
thinks like 12 people listen to this.
Dan and I have a
Perfect.
jetpack.
Yeah.
We share it. We're not that successful. Don't get your hopes up.
No, tell a friend. Please.
Yeah,
please
please
tell
do
friends.
it. But yeah, early Christianity was developing in a really vast swath of diverse religions. And the reason for this was that people of that period saw religion as a stabilizing societal force. It was really important to them.
It was also like hella localized.
It was super localized.
Like
yeah.
it was like the same as like religion was like cuisine.
It very much was. You also have to think about what the Roman Empire is doing in this time period. They are getting everybody.
Yeah.
They're going out and getting all the people.
Yeah.
Right. So
The Roman Empire's like biggest expanse was about 100 years after Jesus' death.
yeah. So you see a lot of, I mean, that's definitely the biggest part, but they're still growing. And
and resurrection. Sorry.
Shit.
we'll get to that.
Are you saying that Jesus Christ was preventing the Roman Empire from colonialism?
No.
He was an anti-colonial. He actually wasn't even. He was like, dude, just let him give Caesar what he wants. That's beside the point.
Yeah.
But in order for the Roman Empire to become this juggernaut, Jesus had to go.
Well, he was in opposition of some things that I think people in the higher-ups of Rome probably weren't so cool with him being opposed to.
He got to go.
Yeah, but no, I mean, he was an opposing force for sure. And then the Roman Empire was like, oh, we could totally parlay this.
Can you imagine what a headache if you're a Roman emperor? Like, imagine now, like, someone goes to, the president, and they're like, sir, we have a problem. There's this new religion. It's people that are weird, and it's spreading like fucking crazy. It started in Alabama.
He's really hurting our fishing economy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of the fishermen work anymore.
No, they just keep...
Like, he's like, where did it start? Just in the absolute butthole of the country is where it started.
No, it's the Mississippi Delta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's converting, and they're weird.
Yeah.
They're weird as shit.
Well, it's only in Mississippi, right? No. It's gone to Alabama. It's getting to Louisiana.
It's actually all the way up to Maryland. So
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
They brought somebody back from the dead.
Weird. We're going to talk a lot about
the National
that,
Guard,
too.
and we killed everyone in Mississippi, but it just keeps spreading.
Yeah, it's really weird. They're all nice. Strange. But yeah, religion could serve as a way to codify societal norms in a constantly shifting power structure of like, these people rule me. Now these people rule me. Like, so that was an easy way to, like, in a local sense, just like, hey, we're all going to agree.
That's
this
your
is
baseline.
Yeah, this is the thing we do.
Yeah.
It was also being used to answer questions that all humans have had about life and death. Of course, that's not anything new. And it was also a tool for how we could think in philosophical terms. Like, there's like a Platonic religion, right, of philosophy. And it's not about like, God and all that stuff. It's more about how we
doesn't
approach.
really deal with the supernatural.
Yeah, it's more of a philosophy, but also a religion in a way, too, for the time. While Christianity would kind of take care of all these things with one doctrine and, get all that shit under one umbrella. That took a lot of time to develop, and it was a really laborious process of getting all that to work right. So today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at some of the more prominent mysteries of the mystery schools and how they shaped the culture then as well as now. And we're also going to talk about the connections and myth across mystery schools and Christianity. Whether you find the comparisons like interesting or sacrilegious, I think the through lines...
Well, let me just stop you there.
Yeah.
I assume it's sacrilegious.
I'm sure it's sacrilegious now.
It's going to infuriate me.
Yeah. No,
It's going to make me angry.
I know. I'm waiting for you to just say, no, that's not right. No, actually, that didn't happen. No. So I'm waiting for it.
Well, Jake, I have a special guest, actually.
Jesus Christ!
It's Giorgio. He's coming in to teach you about everything you have wrong in your podcast.
Just the one time we had him on, the Rasputin episode, and he's like, "Oh, you remember when he did that?" It's like I didn't read that part.
He came with more knowledge.
Giorgio just knew everything about Rasputin.
He actually is Rasputin. So.
He might be. He could be. But yeah. So, like I said, you might find the comparison sacrilegious, but I think the through lines in the comparison of myth to Christian lore speak to how Christianity is just a powerhouse when it comes to marketing and adaptability. Like, Christianity doesn't exist because it was just like, yep, that makes sense.
Yeah. What do you think built the Vatican? Hugs?
No. It's the most adaptable religion of all time. They're like, no, whatever works, get in.
Yeah.
Like, get in the car.
Bring it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Pope went around and he's like, silver or lead?
Yeah, the Pope was really like Pablo for a while. No one knows that.
There's
kind of
like
two ways.
There's kind of like a new funny rift. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I read something the other day that like American bishops in particular have become kind of like some of the more conservative in the Catholic faith.
Francis
at
just
large.
had to get rid of a guy
Really?
in the States.
Not for diddling?
Not for diddling. I think he was just going against the
He's
book.
being a dickhole.
Yeah.
He's just being an asshole.
Yeah. Because
difficult to work
Pope
with.
Francis will say shit like, transgender people will go to hell, but we should be nice to them.
Yeah.
And some bishop's like, oh!
No. Imagine that though, right?
What a take that would infuriate almost everyone else. But like that's pretty good for Catholicism. Of like, hey, you gotta be good.
Wacky shit
You
like
gotta
that.
be nice.
You're working at like a Home Depot and you're in, I don't know, like the paint department. And all of a sudden the CEO of Home Depot fires you.
Goes in and is like, listen, you little fucking shit.
Just because they don't know the difference between Bear and Sherwin-Williams, and they're confused about it, doesn't
nuts.
mean you can yell at them in the store.
And you have that in your back pocket, that card. I got fired by the Pope.
Yeah.
It's like that one girl that was a TFM girl back in the day. I believe the Pope's account liked her photo. She's a thottie. And
At Pontifex.
yeah,
She got a like from at
No.
Pontifex.
from Francis.
That's the Pope.
Yeah.
That's the papal account at
Okay.
Pontifex. It's
And-
like at POTUS.
That's just in her bio now. It's just the Pope's favorite.
That's
I would take that.
glorious. Look, man, when you're a bouncer at an Argentine nightclub, you're gonna like thoughts.
It just happens.
A nightclub in Buenos Aires.
Yeah, and this girl is right up his alley.
This is the first Pope we've had that it hasn't been a virgin from women in
A long time.
at least 80 years.
None of them are virgins.
I think there was probably a run.
You think Benedict,
Yeah. Hundo P.
Nazi youth?
I also think Pope John Paul probably was too.
Yeah, he could get it.
John Paul smoked some dude.
Did
he
he?
got smoked.
Yeah, but then he finished it off.
It's true.
He's like, you didn't get me.
He turned the other cheek and then pulled the trigger.
Pulled the trigger.
Yeah. So yeah, back to the episode though. Stroke for stroke. I don't think Christianity was even that radical for the time when you start comparing theologies here, but it was just really fucking good at assimilation on both sides of the street.
Well, I don't think anyone else was really trying to assimilate.
No, that's the thing. Everything is based on secrecy, for the most part. What we're going to talk about.
Well, and also, it was like localized. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a Roman, so I worship Jupiter, which I stole from the Greeks. I'm a Greek, I worship Caesar, or whatever. But then it's like, oh, but you are, you know, I can't even think of it. You're a Carthaginian, so you worship whoever you worship. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that's just how it is. Like, you worship. It is honestly very similar to
now.
Jews being ethnic and
Yeah.
a religion. Like, that's kind of how everyone was. Like, every religion was tied to like a region or an ethnicity. There was no goal to convert. That is a Christian and Muslim thing for the most part. I think maybe Buddhists were doing that too.
I don't know.
I think Catholics are in some way, especially in the Northeast. That's a culture.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, now Catholic is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Irish
totally.
Catholic, Italian Catholic.
What
Mexican
parish you
Catholic,
from?
Or Latino Catholic.
Yeah. But yeah, much like Roman monoculture was the result of Rome assimilating cultural aspects from lands conquered to its own culture in order to assimilate newly conquered people, it's not surprising that a religious movement birthed in that same environment would be so adaptable in order to accommodate its own growth and evangelization. God, that word.
Why'd you write that?
I don't know. I wrote it.
a
I
mouthful.
actually, when I was writing that, I was like,
You wanted to sound smart. What do you want to say? Spreading it.
spreading it on.
Write like you talk, dog.
And they
Yeah.
spread it good. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, like Rob just
That'd be
said,
a horrible note to get from a teacher. Hey, you write like you talk. Don't.
don't do that.
Don't.
It's right
You
smarter.
talk fucking dumb.
You talk like an idiot.
Preaching to the choir, my man.
Oh, man. Like Rob said, Romans were being influenced by the Greeks and the Egyptians and the Persians pretty much all the time. The most important thing to remember about all of this, like I said earlier, though, is that religion was all over the damn place during humanity's turn into this Christian era, and people were pining for it. They wanted it. Like, they wanted it, again, not just for, like, societal norms, but everyone's like, man, I'm going to die. What's the deal with that? What's going on?
And there's a lot of religions that really didn't sell themselves well. They're like, you have to be this because you live here. And yes, there is an afterlife, but it's only hell.
Yeah, pretty much. The mystery.
Enjoy this nightmare on earth. It only gets worse after.
It's much worse. This is the best part. Yeah. No, the mysteries actually did a good job of quelling people's fears about dying, and we'll get to that soon. But yeah, the thing that I found most
Like how
interesting.
they're like, but don't kill yourself.
Don't do it.
'Cause I think that's a joke in The Invention of Lying. Did you ever see that movie with Ricky Gervais?
Yeah. That movie kind of sucks, but kind of funny.
I never saw it, but I read the script.
Oh, really?
When you're younger and you watch it for the first time, I'm sure it held up when we were in college.
when you're first testing those like thoughts in your head.
It's like low tier satire.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I think the most interesting thing though too is because there's so much widespread religion. There's multiple religions that people have at the same time. So mystery religions were just one type of 3 types of Hellenistic religion in the era. The others being there was an imperial cult, of course.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of these kind of, off the beaten trail religions recently. And I just I'm wondering, everything good at home? Are you just kind of like in the midst of a midlife crisis? You don't really know your purpose? Like, are you good?
Do you know what I'm trying to do? Like, in the future?
Have your own cult?
Yeah, dog.
Okay.
This is just homework, man.
No offense, but you don't have the confidence for that.
Do you think I'm the mouthpiece of the cult? Are you kidding?
You're the puppet master?
Dude, I'm sitting back, bro. You don't want to be the David Koresh, okay?
I always forget you weren't at his wedding, but at the ceremony, he's been doing this sort of black magic for a while. Him and Katie joined hands, slit Wheeler's throat, and then they just dragged the dog away, and they sort of did it in their blood, made the bond in the blood. And then we get to the reception, and Wheeler's just running around.
It works.
That dog was dead.
Mm-hmm.
They made everyone in the wedding party put a finger in the neck. It was a dead dog.
And then guess what?
Then a dove popped out.
Then he was alive. All I'm saying is
I didn't ask questions, and I was pretty drunk.
Nor should you. Just tell the tale.
I was just like, this is Florida. Forget it.
Jake's a magician?
What is a prophet to a magician? Anyway. So yeah, during this time, a person could easily observe the rites of the state religion. They could be an initiate in one or more mysteries. You could be an initiate into multiple mystery schools as well. And at the same time, adhere to certain philosophical schools or your ethnic religion as well.
I mean, that kind of exists in Catholicism today and in other religions too. Like there's sects within, and I'm not talking about Methodist, Baptist, whatever.
No,
I'm talking about, within Catholicism,
we don't acknowledge those anyway.
No, the Praties are worthless.
You wear jeans to fucking church.
Yeah, my wife always gets angry at me when I say that, and they were I told my wife about St. Blaise last night because her mom was here and they were talking about Catholicism, and I was explaining the Hail Mary to them. She didn't even know what a Hail Mary was. So I was like, you didn't know that
your wife
a
didn't?
Hail Mary. Yeah, I was like, Hail. She's like, you pray to Mary. I was like, yes, we pray to Mary. So anyway,
yeah, she's the main bitch.
Eventually, I was just like, I was like, well, maybe she's like, I just don't understand it, and I was like, well, maybe you'd be more into it if the priest put on a denim frock.
We also just have the best architecture, Gothic churches.
This is the
we peaked.
I can't walk into a strip mall and think God's there. I fucking can't.
I need a
God's
gargoyle.
not next to TJ Maxx.
I need
God's not by
something
Ross Pay for Less
that
or
is
whatever.
rock hard that I think can come to life at any moment.
Oh, like a terrifying
fly away.
gargoyle,
Yeah.
and then Michael with the sword at it. That's religion, baby.
That is. It's fear. It's the slight maybe of oh no.
And by the way, I like Jewish and Islamic architecture too. I'm a big fan of religious architecture.
Yeah.
But
a mosque?
Methodism, Baptism,
Mosques are sick.
That giant fucking
Yeah. That
dome?
thing. Yeah.
it's sick.
Big cube you walk around? Hell yeah.
Oh, I would do anything to get inside that cube.
Oh, dude, there's
Except
a meteorite.
convert to Islam.
Yeah,
I don't wanna...
there's a meteorite in there.
I'll do that in prison.
Yeah. While there are actually a ton of different mystery religions, they vary wildly in tradition and ritual from mystery to mystery, but they all have the following 4 things in common. So 1, all held that initiates shared in symbolic fashion the experience of the god. What that means more or less is there is a certain level of divinity to you, and you are learning about typically these mystery schools. There is a myth at the center of their teachings, and you would be kind of demonstrated through ritual what that myth was really about. What I think is really fascinating as we go forward too is these mystery school rites and rituals and things like that are 1,000% the basis for every Greek letter organization.
I was about to say this sounds like my first pledge ed meeting.
Yep, it is 1,000%.
How'd you guys react when you saw the robes
For
the first time?
Oh, like when you're going through ritual?
Robes, yeah.
I was like, fucking hey, I'm almost done. I didn't know how long it was going to be, but I was like, I know I'm almost
the
there.
robes.
What's that?
What color were the robes?
We had different colors. We had like black, purple, and yellow, I think, depending on what you were
We had
doing.
purple.
I think we had red,
And then we
too.
had one white.
Oh, really?
That was the first person you see.
Oh.
So, not a great impression. Not a great first
No,
impression.
probably not. It's a guy in a white hood? No, not your favorite sight?
Mm-mm.
No, weird.
Like, what did I join?
But yeah, number 2, all had secret rites for the initiated. 3, all offered some sort of mystical cleansing from sin or rebirth from a prior state. And then 4, all promised a happy future life for the faithful that were initiated into it.
This is frats.
It's frats.
It's frats, but like, there's a tie-in with mushrooms, right?
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
It makes more sense, though, when you are on mushrooms. Because you do think you
Oh.
are God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when we get to the mushroom talk, we don't know.
I don't
But-
fully understand how you can have a negative reaction or experience on mushrooms.
Like a bad trip.
How do you
Like,
not-
your ego is so inflated.
What if you just hate yourself, I guess?
Yeah.
I do, but I'm still.
I think the people that have a bad trip are integrating things that they aren't happy about, and that takes a lot of personal work.
Dog,
Yeah.
do you know how much is wrong in my life right now?
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I still think I am the creator when I'm on mushrooms.
I don't know if you're using them right, or you're using them exactly right. One or the other.
Yeah, the people
Very
always talk
well.
about ego death. No, ego growth.
Yeah, Dan's ego's so big now. But yeah, there's also a very clear theme that will be apparent in a lot of these mystery cult teachings. See if you can spot it as I go through them. But I just want to make a real quick note, too. When I was doing this research, I found a paper that was written at Stanford that kind of went deep in all of these and how they influenced Christianity. It's like, oh, man, this is like really...
When was it written?
It was written in between 1949 and 1950.
Okay, I trust that then.
And
Like modern day Stanford.
I was like, man, this guy's like a really good writer. This
Yeah.
kid, like, I didn't realize what the paper was from, so I scrolled back up to the top. It was Martin Luther King Jr. that wrote it.
Oh,
So he has
Lord.
like an entire like thesis on these mystery schools.
You went
And
to Stanford?
no, he wrote this after graduating from Howard in his time at seminary school and the University of Pennsylvania. But the King Institute is at Stanford.
Oh,
I was gonna say, would they let him in Stanford in the 40s?
well, if anywhere. Yeah, Jackie Robinson was playing at UCLA in the 40s.
Yeah, but I mean, MLK isn't hitting dingers.
Well, and Jackie was a two-sport athlete. There's video of Jackie playing in the Rose Bowl.
That's crazy. I love that for him. But yeah, the first mystery school we're going to get to is the cult of Cybele and Addis.
I'm sure all MLK had to do was throw a ball over 40 yards, and they're like, all right, you can come in.
Holy shit, man.
They barely want a black guy to play quarterback now.
Who said anything about quarterback? We're still talking about baseball.
Oh, I thought you said 40 yards.
Yeah, that's how little I think of the athlete in the
From
40s.
them. But yeah, so we'll keep going. The cult of Cybele and Addis, it's a cult centered around a myth. The cult of Cybele and Addis could have easily influenced the thought of early Christians. We can trace its origins to likely around the 6th century BC, and it having a pretty prominent influence on religion in general into the 2nd century AD. The mystery religion is anchored around the myth of Addis and Cybele. Addis was a shepherd, the son of Cybele, who is considered the great mother, who gave birth to him without union with mortal man.
Virgin birth to a shepherd.
A shepherd born of virgin birth.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Jesus wasn't a shepherd, but yeah, virgin
But
birth.
still a shepherd.
Virgin birth is just like such a layup, low effort miracle.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, it's a baby, and no one even fucked her.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
People were using that excuse throughout time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, town had its 8th miracle this month.
Been a lot of
What
miracles.
do you know? There's another pregnant chicken. No one fucked her.
It's crazy, man. Saturnalia, we get all these miracle babies every time. But yeah, according to the myth, Addis died. Either he was slain by another man or he killed himself. And at the death of Addis, Cybele mourned until he rose to life again in the springtime. The central theme of the myth was the triumph of Addis over death, and the participant in the rites of the cult undoubtedly believed that his attachment to the victorious deity would ensure a similar triumph in his life over obstacles and ultimately the fear of death. So a lot of these are going to be centered around getting over the fear of death, too, in order to live a better life, because death is inevitable.
I like it. Like, so, oh, you're about, your cult's about a guy who beat death. So that if I'm in it, I'm gonna beat death. It's like, nah, you just won't care about it anymore.
Oh, you'll beat it, but we'll get more into that in
Beat it by not. You just nag death.
the Eleusinian mystery. We'll get way more into why it's like that, and I'll
All
talk.
right. If it's offered, would you upload your consciousness?
No, 0% chance.
Okay.
It would just depend on what was going on in my life.
Yeah, if I was like really sad, maybe.
It depends, how successful your kids are.
Yeah.
Like if they're giant pieces of shit, just kill me. But if they succeed, if they actually, overcome all the obstacles, all these things that are set in front of them because you're their dad, and they somehow become successful, I think you should.
No, I would upload. I would see what's up.
I just don't know if it's really you. Like you're not experiencing.
Well, then
it.
you're
It's
dead
just
either way. I wouldn't do it like right now. I wouldn't do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like terminal cancer, dying,
oh,
whatever.
sure.
Bed, 70s.
Yeah.
There's going to be a thing though. Whenever that I think that is inevitable, that concept, but it's going to become selfish of you to not do it. If you like, they're gonna be like, "What do you mean?" Like, how it's gonna be like, "Why do you want to drive your own car?"
His dad was such a psycho. Like he fucking just died.
He just died and didn't like leave any fragment of himself behind for the kids to interact with.
At least leave like one of those Harry Potter paintings where after you die, you just like you fucking hang out there.
And they'll definitely do it in a way that it's just not for any like reason to have you around. It's more just for convenience. Like, oh shit, Dad knew about this.
You're
Go to
the
his
internet.
consciousness.
You're the internet for your family history now.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Uncle Greg was kind of racist.
I
All right,
mean-
thanks, Dad. That's what we thought.
But at that point, you're in the middle of like you're now alive for like 100 and you're like 160, 170 years old. You've been in the simulation almost as long as you've been alive. And God knows how time moves or whatever in the simulation. So they just like call you, but you're in the middle of a digital pansexual orgy because nothing matters anymore.
Yeah. Just constant simulation.
You just put in your fucking
Doug, you're in a storage unit.
Yeah.
And
You're
they
in
just rip you out of it.
You're in a
whenever
server
they need
farm,
answers.
homie. Like, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was like what was that?
Upload?
Black Mirror upload or
No,
San
originally-
San Junipero.
Yeah.
Originally, that's what I thought, but then I'm like, no. This at the end of the day would eventually just be for convenience of others.
the poor people in upload.
Oh, yeah. Where they get frozen.
Really
Their
bum
account
me
gets
out.
frozen.
You're
Yeah.
out of minutes for this month.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. But back to Cybele. Yeah, so this was such a prominent story and myth that in Rome there was a festival actually every year celebrating the death and resurrection of Attis. The celebration was held annually from March 22nd to 25th.
Is that what the sex thing is named after? Is Cybele?
I don't know, actually. What do you mean?
The little thing you ride?
Oh, Sibian?
Sibian, sorry, Sibian.
I
yeah.
don't think it's spelled the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
On the first day of the festival, an effigy of Attis is fastened to the trunk of a pine tree to signify him being slanged and hang on a tree.
Don't act all coy. You know what a Sibian is.
Uh,
You knew the name.
I fucked up the name. I do know what it is. The little like hump thing you sit on.
Mm-hmm.
The little half.
Yeah, you're familiar with its work.
Yeah.
if not, I saw Burn After Reading. All right.
Yeah.
That's why you know it. That's why I know
Or
it.
Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Or we have to do Adam and Eve fucking ads on
Yeah.
the main show. Like
Not here, though. They don't pay us.
2, 3. Yeah, not on our show.
But yeah, so this effigy was later buried in a tomb. A couple days later, 2 days later to be exact, on March 24th, known as the Day of Blood, the high priest of the town would impersonate Attis. He would draw blood from his arm and offer it up in place of the blood of a human sacrifice, sacrificing himself. Attis.
Sort of.
Well, okay.
You're just
I'm expecting
donating
that.
blood
It's symbolic
to the ground.
of Attis' sacrifice for man. That night, the priest would go back to the tomb and proclaim it empty, the god having risen on the third day from the dead. And on the 25th, the resurrection was celebrated with great rejoicing. During this great celebration, a sacramental meal of some kind was taken, and initiates were baptized with blood, whereby their sins were washed away,
I'm down
and they
with
were
that.
said to be born again.
Baptized with water, no thank you. But yeah, blood, that's some
Hell yeah.
hardcore shit.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
I always go up, when I was a kid, I would go up to communion and be like, drink it. I would drink and be like, this is wine. Oh, this
I
is
wanted-
alcohol.
Do you know what it's like when you're given wine and you're told it's blood?
I want blood, bitch. It's just irresponsible to give me alcohol.
But yeah, in Gaul, Italy, and other countries where Attis worship was really powerful, the early Christians adapted the actual date, March 25th, as the anniversary of the Lord's Passion.
Yeah, it's like springtime. That's Easter.
Yep, it's very much in line with like the early celebration of Easter.
Yeah.
The Attis resurrection thing. So
Also, spring's just crucifying season.
Everybody
knows that.
Yeah, you got
Nice out.
good lumber.
Mhm.
You know, not too hot. You can throw that cross up real
The
easy.
nailers and the lifters. It's, you know,
Everyone's re-energized.
yeah. July in Jerusalem is just it's not the time. Great. It's great for the hanging of them, because fuck the criminals.
Yeah. But you
And-
just
and
got through a
hippies.
brutal winter.
Yeah.
Spring has sprung.
Yeah,
It's nice weather.
chopping down a tree, getting out
You're
there.
gonna tailgate a couple
You wanna be
crucifixions.
outside,
Yeah. But yeah, the merging of the worship of Attis into that of Jesus was pretty much combined without interruption. They were like, no, we're doing this one.
Like,
This
oh,
one's-
what a coincidence.
that's our guy. Yeah. But of note, the original ceremonies of the Attis resurrection were enacted in a sanctuary on the Vatican Hill, which the Christians would take over eventually. And you know what they built there?
I forget.
St. Peter's Basilica is built on the Vatican
On
Hill.
that rock.
So the very place where they co-opted this ritual, they built
I figured the Vatican was built on Vatican.
Vatican Hill. Yeah, it's a good guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but specifically St. Peter's Basilica. is there.
Super unstable foundation though. Putting it on a rock.
It's fine. It'll be there for a while, I think. If, the
I
Lord
just think
has
it's
anything
like
to do with it.
oversized boulder that they just try to balance on.
It's like a rock cairn, like the stacking stones you
Yeah.
see on trails.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a, beautiful basilica on top of it.
No, it's an Easter Island statue.
It's just a head. It's on one point rolling around. Okay. But yeah, so Dr. King at the time believed that, that was obviously the pine tree that they would put the effigy on was very similar to the cross process and, the tomb. I think we all see the similarities there. The next group of
I
mysteries.
see coincidences.
Yeah. This was happening way before the Christian
Yeah, I'd be
ritual, though.
kind of pissed off if I was nailed to a pine tree. I would not see the
Like, you didn't.
similarities.
This is no craftsmanship.
Horrible.
You didn't even make it into a shape.
Be like, I'm not Christ-like. I'm just dying on a tree.
The Eleusinian mysteries, the ones I was referring to earlier, this is the one I'm going to dive really deep on. It's one of the more fascinating things that we don't know a lot about, but know enough to make it even more fascinating, especially considering it's a run of 2,000 years of prevalence in the Greco-Roman era. But the basis for the mysteries can be found in the myth of the kidnapping of Persephone. She, of course, was the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of agriculture.
Of course.
Everyone knows this. And Persephone,
Don't
everyone
even know
knows.
I need to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you added an unnecessary. If this was a script and I was making edits, I'd be like, cut. Obviously, that's redundant. We all
Yeah.
know who Persephone is.
We all know who she was kidnapped by?
No, I'm just lying. I don't know
Oh.
anything about fucking Persephone.
Oh, you don't? This is like the classic.
Oh.
This is the classic Greek myth of the seasons. So, Persephone's captured by Hades, the god of the underworld. If you don't remember the story, which I guess you don't, Demeter caused famine and drought across Greece, killing many and depriving gods of proper sacrifice and worship.
No, it's the gods who are really hurting.
Yeah, once the big guys started hurting, they're like, "Hey, Zeus,
Yeah,
can you make Hades give Persephone back?"
that's a trickle up famine, I believe.
Yeah, it was very trickle up.
I didn't get a single goddamn lamb slaughtered in my name.
Can you chill about your daughter being in the underworld, lady?
So that was actually kind of the plot. Did you guys ever read the original script to Gladiator 2?
Oh,
Again,
no.
I don't even really know how they're going to make Gladiator 2.
Yeah. Well, so the original script for Gladiator 2 featured Maximus.
He had to go back to Earth, right?
Yeah, he was dead and in the underworld, and the Christianity was like booming,
That's pretty sick.
and the old
Is
gods.
he there with his son, though? Because remember, his son got hung.
He does. His
And
son
burnt
is
to a crisp.
his son or something. Some family member is a character that he has to go back to Earth and deal with, and but like in the movie or whatever, it starts with he's in the afterlife, and the old gods like Zeus and other people, maybe like Horus or whatever, are like dying because no one worships them anymore.
Yeah. We'll
And
get to
he has
Horus
to
in a
go-
minute,
He
too.
has to go back and like fuck up Christians or something like that.
I low-key hope Gladiator 2 is just the nephew of Joaquin Phoenix, the little
Yeah.
child, grows up to be an emperor and is just a giant piece of shit.
He
Even
is in it, I
worse.
think. I don't know if he grows up to giant piece of shit, but I'm pretty sure that actor is
Like worse than his uncle.
Yeah, you gotta get a bigger bad.
His uncle, dad, maybe thing.
Whatever that relationship
Well,
was.
I don't know. I think he was trying to fuck his sister.
He definitely wanted to.
Yeah, it was very stated. But yeah, basically, Persephone is allowed to come. Like Zeus is like, Hades, you got to give Persephone back. All the gods are hungry. And Hades is like, yeah, all right, whatever. And he's like, hey, Persephone, before you go, here's this fruit, this pomegranate fruit. Why don't you have a couple seeds from it? And she has, depending on the myth, 4 to 6 seeds. And the Fates had decreed that if anyone eats in the underworld, they have to spend a corresponding amount of time in the underworld for the rest of their life. So basically, Persephone, for the 4 to 6 seeds, had every year had to go to the underworld for half the time. And during that time, Demeter, her mother, mourns her return to the underworld. And it's basically
That's winter.
it's winter, right? So it's a big myth about the birth and death cycle of plants and animals, as well as how that kind of trickles up into humanity, the life cycle of.
I like how they need like allegory to explain it. Like, why does it get cold and the plants don't grow anymore? It just does. It just does.
Because it's January.
Like, get inside. It is so cold.
Yeah,
You want me to tell you a story?
this is why. Yeah. But what's interesting is that this is like, obviously that's a myth that I think everyone that's, studied Greek mythology a little bit is very aware of, but it's the basis and like the foundational basis for the Eleusinian mysteries, but it's not like, that's kind of the secret, but not really.
Yeah.
So the Eleusinian mysteries were so prominent that for 2,000 years, there were 2 kind of festivals they did. They did one at the beginning of spring to celebrate, oh shit, yeah, it's probably like a local harvesting celebration where people just planted crops together and like got drunk and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Why not?
it's September to signify the beginning of winter. This is when like the big thing they did every year was. So they had a giant meeting in Athens where like up to 3,000 people at a time would show up to be initiated into the cult into the Eleusinian cult. And it was like politicians were in this, people of nobility were in this. It was the most important religious group for that period. And basically what they would do, you could only go to this thing one time in your life too. So like they would have thousands of people show up every year, slaves, women, men, free men. Like it didn't matter. Anyone could go and they would never deny you. Even if you were a slave, they'd be like, yeah, you can go to that. And they would basically go to this spot, I guess the Agora of Athens, and they would bring their own sacrificial animals and kind of get ready for the festival to start. The next day they would go down to the sea with their animals. They would purify them. Then 3 days of rest would happen until a certain date. And then they would fill it up with even more initiates as people were coming in. There's a process of, there's just thousands of people cleaning their sacrificial animals in Athens and getting ready for this. Then once everyone was ready, 2 Eleusinian priestesses were kind of put into a procession. They'd lead them 15 miles to Eleusis, where the myth took place. And the reason why it's Eleusis is because that's where Demeter was like wreaking havoc, I guess, in the myth. But anyway, they get to this place called, I'm trying to remember, the Telesterion, which is like the sanctum for this religion. And they'd make everybody fast. And they'd teach them first the story of the Demeter Persephone thing. That was like the lesser mystery. So you weren't really supposed to talk about that, but if you did, no one really gave a shit.
It was like common knowledge. It was like,
but they'd make them do this other part.
I think the fast is solely because of the famine.
Well, no, the fast is to actually, it's to trigger
I'm not saying for this religion specifically, but I think in general, a lot of religions kind of had fast because there was a lack of food.
Oh, I mean, I definitely could see like a fast being like as a way to remember too that like, hey, food's not guaranteed either. It's symbolic of like, we know that sometimes.
I don't even think it's symbolism. I think it's straight up, hey, we don't have enough food to get through the winter if everyone eats every day.
I mean, yeah, it could be like, you're
I think it's just logistics.
It's like maybe it could be representative too of like, hey, we're all giving up this one day, so we have another day in the winter. too.
So stay woke because all this intermittent fasting, all these 48-hour fast trends. Wonder why.
Why aren't there
What's
feast?
happening?
Why aren't there feast trends?
We should bring that
They want you to eat bugs.
into the limelight. Yeah, they want you to eat
Fucking
bugs.
bugs,
They want you
man.
to fast.
Hey, man, bugs are fine.
Crickets are good.
Crickets
High
taste
source
good.
of protein.
That's right.
Shouts to Eli.
But yeah, so this like explaining of the mysteries, the first group and
I'm
the
gonna charge
second
you
group.
$250 for that read.
Fucking A.
Do
It is
it.
funny though that people are like, "I'm never eating a fucking bug," and then just like crack open a lobster,
It's a sea roach.
Delicious.
Yeah,
eat a fucking octopus,
yeah, dude.
which I love calamari.
I'm starting to get away from that.
I don't eat octopus anymore.
It was good, but man,
They're so smart.
they're aliens.
They are so smart. I don't want
You're
their
eating an alien.
I don't want their space ancestors coming down soon and being like, "Hey, where's all our octopus?" Oh shit, we went to Central Market. We saw what you did.
Well, they're just gonna rip Italy out of Europe and toss it into space.
Oh, dude, yeah, Italy, Spain, pretty much the entire Iberian Peninsula.
That's why they
gone.
gave up, actually.
Yeah.
Italy and Spain. They're like, our days are numbered.
Do you see what we did to these things?
I don't think we eat enough smart animals because the protein in octopus is incredible.
Oh, dude. You
Oh,
think
it's
I don't
really
eat enough pig?
Yeah, pig. I'm sure you eat plenty of pig, but I think we need to go even further. Dolphin, elephant. I want to
I can
eat.
fuck up some elephant right now.
Yeah, I want to eat.
What do you eat first, though, in the elephant? Just some ass meat?
Yeah, that's probably like for the steak and stuff. But I think maybe you could make some great tacos out of the trunk. You know, like you smoke the whole trunk and then you just scoop out the meat.
Oh, then you
dump
can
it
make
into
like
tortilla.
ivory utensils out of the tusks.
Well, use every part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
could.
want to poach later?
Hell yeah.
Always be put. Apparently, when I was working at the hunting company I was at, someone was telling me there's like an Austin poaching bucket list for like
What?
it's like stuff like kill a dove within 8 Austin city limits, like just like during dove
I guess
season,
that's not really.
or like just like random shit like, oh, if you get a deer like off Bee Cave Road or
Yeah.
something like that, you know. So there's like a bucket list for that, which I found like horrifying and hilarious at the same time because it's like,
I mean, our friend Matt, he told me about how like the rednecks in his fraternity would literally go to behind Mizzou's basketball arena because there's like a woods right behind it and shoot deer.
Guys,
That is in the city limits.
how do you think they solved the homeless crisis here?
that was a different bucket list.
No, it's still poaching.
It's poaching.
Actually,
yeah.
poaching is illegal hunting.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was clandestinely legal.
It's the Greg Abbott Mystery School. It's like, you're going to drink a bunch of Lone Star. I'm going to give you a rifle. And you have 7 hours.
What happens, happens.
Yeah. One important note, though, between the two mysteries, the lesser mystery, which was the myth, and the greater mystery, which is so fucking fratty, it's ridiculous. They were given what is called a drink out of what was called a kikion. Now, this kikion is a sacramental vase. A lot of the different, like, you'll see, like, the myths portrayed on these vases, too. So, like, you know, when you see, like, the scenes on vases, they were drinking something out of it in a fasted state before the second round. And the recipe is
So empty stomach.
empty stomach, and the recipe is water, honey, barley. There's one other thing. I forget what it was. I didn't write it down for some reason. But these 4 things, it's like, oh, maybe there's some sort of like ergot thing happening because it's water, grain, honey. You're creating the fermentation process. They have found ergot traces in these vases as well, so they think it might have been hallucinatory, like on an LSD level. But also, someone had done some research in when you switch the ingredients, like they were like, why is water listed in a drink recipe? Of course water's in it.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't list that unless there's a reason for it. And someone figured out that the ingredients, if you wrote them in ancient Greek, the first letter of each one spelled out a word that was the hidden secret ingredient, which was a type of mushroom.
Oh.
Yeah. So either they were tripping off of an acid type trip or a mushroom type trip is what
Or both.
or both.
They were on LSD and mushrooms.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know.
Like, you just leave that room and you're like, yeah, God was there.
And
yeah, no, there was many gods.
So one of the people that was an initiate in this group was Plutarch, who was, I believe, I want to say he was a student of Plato, but I can't remember off the top of my head. He was very
One of
prominent.
the forgotten guys.
He was
Plutarch.
Plutarch.
Plutarch's
Plutarch's.
Roman, but
I'm trying to remember.
sorry. Yeah, he was a philosopher.
But yeah, so Plutarch talks about
God, we should do an episode about the forgotten philosophers.
Plutarch's
'Cause
like
there's the big three.
Plutarch's B tier for sure.
oh yeah, he's
I
not
don't
A
even
tier.
want B tier. I want like Z tier.
You want Z tier philosophers?
I want dudes that were just hanging out in like 100.
I can
he
take you to 6th Street and find some Z tier philosophers.
He was
right now.
during when Rome ran Greece, but he was Greek. He was definitely not a direct student of Plato.
They were like about 100 years apart.
Was it
No,
Aristotle?
was after Plato, and Aristotle taught Alexander the Great.
But was
Okay.
Aristotle like the total psychopath?
No, that's the first one. He was like the
Socrates?
lunatic hobo.
Socrates?
Yeah.
Socrates,
was
yeah.
like,
Well, Socrates, they also think was an initiate of this,
okay.
and they think one of the reasons he was like, hey, you can either fuck, like the impiety thing that he got charged with, was because not only was he like teaching students shit that just wasn't going with societal norms, but also he was giving up mysteries. Like he was telling people like, oh,
Okay, fuck it.
this is what we do, and like, hey, you never talk about ritual, dog.
It's just funny to me that the first of the three philosophers was like a man wearing a barrel.
He was just stinky.
Yeah.
There was another
Like,
one.
it was just like a guy with the end is near, and someone was like, "I must learn from you," and then it just kept going.
It became a school.
Yeah, it's
I
like the first person to ever contemplate death.
thought. Yeah.
That would drive you insane, probably.
Yeah, I mean, he was barrel guy, right? So there was also one of the Z-tier philosophers that died because he had a really shiny bald head. I guess like eagles would drop turtles on rocks to kill him, and so an eagle dropped a turtle on his head. And
Was
killed
he
him.
the first person to like get conscious? He just awoke.
Socrates? No, absolutely not.
Think
Everyone
that
up
the
to
turtle
that
story.
point.
I think someone murdered that guy and was like, "Oh no, I didn't hit him with the rock.
With a turtle?
The eagle did it. The eagle with the."
No, he was murdered, right? He was put to death.
Socrates?
Socrates was put to death.
Yeah.
He could choose to either renounce his teachings or he had to poison himself with hemlock, which I learned how to identify today, so I don't eat it because it looks just like fucking
And
carrots
he's
in
like,
the wild.
feed me the poison.
Yeah, he's like, I'll take the L. But yeah, so these people, Plutarch talked about the actual initiation, and basically he was like, yeah, it was complete darkness. I'm losing my mind. I'm going through hell basically, and then I see a divine light, and it's fields of people dancing and like partying and having a great time. So they basically, I think what they did was they'd hoodwink them. They'd basically just cover them up, fuck with them, kind of
Yeah.
like the Kyo coffin thing.
Yeah,
Where it's like, you're dead. You're fucking dead. You're dead now, you piece of shit. And they're tripping balls, and they haven't eaten, and they've gone through like a 15-mile hike, and they've done all this shit to
Fucking
prepare
exhausted,
for it.
yeah.
Yeah. And then at the end, they're like, and now you're initiated. You're a brother now in this great world, and you've dealt with the pains and the fear of death. You no longer have that as a barrier for your life to be what you want it to be. And it was so important that everyone fucking did this shit. Like almost everyone did this shit in Greece. So like it was a way to conquer the fear of death in order to live a better life. But again, the concept of being born again was very important, and it kind of assimilates into Christianity a little bit too, because there's this whole cleansing period. But the difference is it's secret, right? And it's based on secret knowledge. I know there's a part of Christianity too in its earlier years where it was also very secretive.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people believe that early Christianity was just another form of a mystery school until it gained statewide prominence, like, and became the power, right? That is. But another funny story about this specific thing, the secret of the Eleusinian mystery was definitely the drugs, because one guy apparently had dinner parties and like authorities busted it down. I think this was in like 300 AD
What?
or something like that.
They're busting parties for drugs in 300 AD.
Not just drugs, the Eleusinian drugs, because he was given out. You were only allowed to do this once in your life.
So he was just like, "That's the best night of my life."
He's like, I got to do this all the time.
Yeah.
So he's having trip parties, and people are like, you're propagating the mystery and you're giving it out to whoever. I believe they killed him. He was a noble in Athens at the time.
Man, it's a go-to playbook. Like last week, I was talking about the assassins.
Yeah.
Saba, getting everybody high on opium,
Oh yeah.
fucking in a garden.
Yeah, my next note here was literally, it turns out giving people drugs is a really good way of getting your message across. It's the best. It's tales all the time.
Assassins.
Tell a friend about this podcast and give them mushrooms before they listen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or watch it on YouTube.
We all know you're on them. We all know you're on them. Okay, cool. Yeah, got him there. But yeah, either way, again, the story features the Demeter story is a story of descent, and then you relive it as well as an initiate. It's all about descending, dying on the cross, whatever you want to call it, and being reborn with a sense of divinity and that you're in touch with God in the afterlife.
I mean, I think Catholicism has a version of that, because if you've ever attended an entire Stations of the Cross, it is like being crucified.
Not only was I there, Rob, I participated. I was a Roman soldier.
I have been an altar boy in many Stations of the Cross, which is actually...
I was not good enough to be Jesus.
Oh.
My buddy got it.
Not ripped enough.
He did die, though. Unrelated.
Oh.
Did he come back?
He did not come back.
Yeah, then unrelated. Yeah.
Unrelated, yeah, totally. The last mystery school I'm going to talk about, this is going to be a longer episode, is the influence of Osiris and Isis. So we're getting a couple different spots.
Yeah,
here.
Osiris is one that is like a big one that they always mention. Like, Jesus wasn't the first one to have somebody come back for that. But that's the same thing. Like I joked earlier, it's like it's such an easy, lazy miracle to be like, oh shit, baby, did nobody fuck her pussy? Like, it's the same thing with like, oh, he died, but then he didn't.
Why didn't Abel come back?
He was a bitch.
Yeah, he had it coming.
Probably.
Little farmer boy bitch. Got the shit kicked
I
out
still
of him
never
by his
also
shepherd
figured
bro.
out the logistics of how the family grew.
Seth.
Well, yeah, there was Seth.
There's an entire religion around
there's
Seth,
no-
by the way. You
I
need
know,
to dive into that.
Do Seth. I have dibs on Seth.
Okay, yeah. It
But-
gets really into Gnosticism, so I've
How many daughters do they have? Because are they just fucking their mom? Like, what are they doing?
They explain that in canon, don't they?
I don't recall, but yeah. I think
it's very explained. Like, there's more than just Cain and Abel
I know.
and Seth.
And there's probably more than Adam and Eve, I'd imagine.
well,
there's Lilith, and yeah, but
don't even worry about that.
yeah, we won't. That's a whole other episode. You should do that episode though.
I mean, Seth's cool, dude.
But yeah, the Egyptian mysteries of Isis and Osiris were revered not only in Rome, but in many other places where Christian communities were starting to get big. The legend basically was that they were brother and sister and husband and wife. Osiris is murdered. His coffined body is thrown into the Nile. And shortly afterward, the widowed, exiled Isis gives birth to their son, Horus. So Horus is not, depending on who you ask, like in this mystery school, he's not of virgin birth. It's just the birth of a god, right? Meanwhile, the coffin washes up on the Syrian coast and becomes miraculously lodged in the trunk of a tree. So he's, again, stuck in wood or affixed to some sort of upright wooden thing.
Right.
It gets cut down and made into a pillar in the palace of Byblos, and Isis finds it.
Mm-hmm.
So she scrapes up all of his dismembered body from the coffin and restores him to life and installs him as king of the underworld or the netherworld, whatever you want to call it.
He's kind of like a zombie Osiris. Like, he's kind of like depicted as like a dead guy.
Yeah, he is the ethereal god now at this point. And then Horus, meanwhile, is a man now. He becomes the reign on earth, like the ruler on earth, later becoming the third person. And
we talked about this last week on Patreon. Him and Set go back and forth.
that's true.
Yeah, they're little tricksters.
Yeah, trying to trick each other and who can win with anal sex and breath holding contests.
Thigh sex.
Yeah, well,
Well, yeah, you hit the
Set's body
thighs.
was in.
Right.
But he was just hitting thigh.
Yeah,
But
idiot.
yeah,
Shouldn't you? If you can't tell the difference between a butthole and thigh,
And if
you
you're a man and you have cum on your hands, you got to cut them off.
gotta cut
you
him
gotta
off.
come off. That
cut
was
'em off.
that was realistic. But
Well, no, you got to show your mom. She cut him off.
yeah, I mean, well, you
gotta
how are you
run your
supposed how are you supposed to cut your own hands off if you're holding
can't.
all the
You
jizz?
go to your mom and you say,
Yeah.
"Mom, my hands are covered in jizz." If you think any of this is just us being stupid, by the way,
It's
No,
very much in our
it's
it's
episodes.
a
not
real
gonna
fucking
tell us the
story.
Yeah, it is Egyptian lore. But yeah, so the Egyptians really were the first people to like kind of kick off the Holy Trinity concept of Osiris, Isis, Horus.
Okay.
But yeah, records show that there was a festival celebrating this each year in Egypt, and it celebrated the resurrection of Osiris and also all of the dead as
But
well.
also, if you think about it, right? Like, you're starting a religion. Do you really want to develop more than 3 characters? That's a lot. That's
bad.
I don't know how the
lot.
Greeks did it.
It's a bad movie.
It's just too many.
Well, that's why the Greeks, like the Greek gods and the Roman gods and everything, there's a lot of like B tier that you forget about
See,
because
it's like
they're all
it's like Marvel, right?
they're all trash.
It's the same thing. Like, they're like comic book superheroes. You have a lot of like lower
Yeah.
level ones.
and that's why whatever stage they're in now for Marvel is awful.
Yeah, because you're really scraping the fucking bin.
Totally.
It's the same thing with Catholicism too, right? You've got you've got Jesus and God, then you've got the big saints
Like St. Patrick,
Mary, St. Patrick. Then you start getting in lesser saints. I also told Courtney last night in our conversation about St. Blaise, so I just lie to her a lot just for fun.
Oh
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And just to fuck with
you
her.
do that to us too. So like, on this very podcast.
Yeah. And but I do that because then, but I like to tell her insane things that are true, just to throw her off.
Just to throw in a wrench.
Yeah. So I told her about St. Blaise, and I was like, yeah, we have a patron saint of choking. And she was like, no, you don't. That's made up. No, you don't. And I was like, Google it. St. Blaise, patron saint of choking, St. Blaise. And she was like, I'm not Googling it. It's fake. You're not going to trick me.
That's
and
what
I was
the
like,
ladies call me in the bedroom.
St. Blaise.
Mm-hmm.
Just the patron saint of choking.
St. Blaise actually shrinks his wiener so they don't choke.
That's so nice of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she Googled it and was furious.
Because now she doesn't know she's going to waste her time on the phone
Right, I know.
Googling. That's
I was
pretty.
like, Google it. Google
Google
it.
it.
Google
Just
it.
do it.
Google it. Do it.
But yeah, they celebrate this this Osiris thing basically at the exact same. It was co-opted into All Saints Day or All Souls Day, basically remembering the dead.
Was there shit on November 1st and 2nd?
It was on the 8th, but yeah, it was beginning of November, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. There's also something that's kind of interesting about Isis.
This is a dead ass month, so
it is. Isis is likely to have a direct bearing on the elevation of Mary as a figure in Catholicism as well. Isis had two capacities which her worshippers worshipped her for, the images they saw of her and represented her in. One of sorrow for the death of Osiris, so the weeping Virgin Mary is a pretty direct parallel there.
Right.
And then the other of her nurturing her son Horus, which is very similar to the Madonna imagery, right? And it was so similar, the way those things were depicted, that like archaeologists searching things in that time would often have a hard time figuring out if they were looking at a depiction of Isis or the Virgin Mary.
that's wild. That's a little bit unsurprising though, because
Well, people
I don't know when they split off or how they became different. But prior to I think I could be totally wrong on this, but prior to Islam
probably are.
conquering Egypt, probably, Christianity was booming in Egypt. They still have the Coptic Christians in Egypt or whatever. I don't know when Coptics became their own thing or anything like that, but Christianity latched on, I think, pretty
Rob,
fucking
you know what
well in
happened
Egypt.
before the Catholic Crusades?
Yeah, all the Muslim fucking crusades.
Yeah.
They're like, but with Islam, it's like, oh, what are you trying to conquer? Oh, everything. Oh, you're not trying to like retake? No, just everything.
Everything.
all.
All.
It's a lot easier of a mission.
Yeah, dude.
In
Caliphate's
theory.
just like, this is ours.
I mean, if you want to call the beginning of Islam, I kind of think the ancient. They say the ancient period ended at the end of Rome, but I kind of think there was a. That's fine, but I kind of think there was like a middle, like not a middle period, but a little awkward transitional period between the ancient times, fall of Rome, to the Middle Ages, and I think the beginning of the Middle Ages is basically the Muslim conquest beginning. So like 400 to 600, I think, is like an awkward transition phase. I wouldn't necessarily call like 500 AD, you know, the medieval period.
And the Crusades are the Catholic Strikes Back.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think
No, it is.
I think the first non-ancient colonial endeavor was Islam.
Yeah, post Rome, absolutely. I would have a hard time. I mean, I'm sure you could refute that.
Like
in some
truly,
form or
like,
fashion,
and
but,
honestly, they were probably
you got to speak to like successful too. I think like I'm sure people were trying to do some shit.
well,
but
right. I mean,
yeah.
but there was a little bit before that, like the Byzantines, the Eastern Roman Empire. They at one point reconquered quite a bit of the Roman Empire, but they were still the Roman Empire. They were just kind of
That's
trying
kind
to
of lumped into
politically retaking
Yeah.
the lands they had, and you could definitely call the Roman Empire for the time a semi-global empire, as big as any empire could be. There was Chinese
Yeah, I mean,
stuff about the same size, but in terms of like the first, like, it's not modern, but the first like non-ancient global or like super regional colonial power was the Umayyad, however you say it, caliphate.
yeah, no, I mean that's totally fair. Yeah, I mean because you're that designation of after antiquity, right? That's
Right.
why that's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, totally. I think all in all though, like I found it pretty interesting how like all these different things were very prevalent in their locale. So like Greece or Persia or Egypt, and like Christians were just so good at like, no, that's us too.
You get the two.
Yeah, and I don't think that's
Big tent.
I think it's brilliant, and that's why Christianity is the largest religion in the world. I mean, like, it makes total sense, right? Like, Rome is trying to do this on, like, a governance form with their government and new places. And
do you know how many Catholics there are?
It's like half of Christians, right?
There's 1 billion Catholics.
Yeah, and there's like 2 billion Christians or something.
I think there's 3 billion Christians and 2 billion Muslims.
Yeah, it's insane. I didn't realize after Christianity and Islam, you know what the next biggest one is?
Jake, how many Jews are there?
It's like 10th. It's 0.1%.
Jake, how many Jews are there?
I think it's like 14 to 16 million.
Less
Why
by
is
the
that?
day.
What happened?
What's your bit?
No
What
bit.
happened?
What happened?
We didn't do much conquering. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't conquer.
Is that why?
What, dude? Say it loud. Say what you're trying to say.
No, I
Don't
mean,
be a fucking cock.
You've been slaughtered countless times.
Yeah, we're still here, motherfucker.
I know.
Yeah.
You guys are, you're doing it.
Yeah, we doing it.
But the graph is really just like.
Yeah, Jake, what the fuck do you think I was saying?
I just wanted you to say it.
You guys get slaughtered a lot.
Yeah, dude. We're still here. Not because of anything you did. No, we're just out here making movies, bro. Firing off space lasers.
In the
man.
words of P. Diddy, in the song "Welcome to Atlanta" remix, we still here, and we building FOMO new towers.
That's fucking sick. Yeah, we did build the first two, and we collected the insurance on the. We got that payment, baby. It's all coming up us. No, man, but I found it really fascinating. I think the Eleusinian mysteries are by far the most interesting ones. I wish we knew more about them. There's a lot of really interesting there's like an entire mystery school based around sailors.
Yeah, to see a Scooby-Doo based on this.
Scooby-Doo and the Ruh-roh, I drank from the Kikion. Fraggy, your face, it's melting. I can't.
I'm dead now.
I think I'm baning when I'm trying to Scooby-Doo.
Hey, Scoob man, I can see my bones.
Yeah, no.
Can't
You merely adopted the dog, Scooby.
So dumb.
Bane walks in. You know who did the voice for Shaggy?
Who?
Casey Kasem.
What?
Yeah.
I would think he would do Freddy over anybody.
Casey Kasem did the voice of Shaggy.
I can do a Casey Kasem.
Do it.
Now we're coming. God damn it. It takes a second. I can't do it on the spot, but
That's fine. That's fair. So some of them you need to get your
You gotta get in the right mental.
and
distance dedication. I can't
the
fucking
throat in the right
it's like,
way.
You have to, like Casey Kasem,
Jake,
you have to pull your mouth back.
We'll try again next episode.
Thank you. I've done it before. I'll do it again one day. I have to hear his voice too. But yeah, no, I just wanted to get into all the things you guys co-opted into your own religion. I'm actually very proud of it. As a marketer, I think it's very fascinating how you guys just were like, we're doing the thing. We're getting everybody in the tent. We're riding.
What did we learn today? Humanity loves recycling.
We love a good story. We love, this is the hero's journey through and through, right? It's the descent and the return.
That is one of the ultimate. I was thinking about that the other day with just like creation in general, and because you were telling me something about how it was off mic, but it was just like they found something that maybe more proved we were in a simulation because creation was like lazy or something.
Oh, when you're not paying attention to this experiment, it acts in a pattern.
Right.
But when you start to pay attention to it, it acts how you expect it to act.
But is this like the double slit experiment?
Yeah, that's what it is.
The double
slit, yeah.
that has to do with light particle behavior. Yeah. So like in light is both a wave and a particle.
Yeah.
So like when you're observing it, it's gonna always act like a certain predictable way. But like when it's not, they can like use quantum mechanics now to unobserve the experiment but still observe it. And like the light behaves differently. It behaves as a particle, but under observation it behaves as a wave. And I'm not gonna try and get like into the quantum mechanics of it, but yeah, it is a mind fuck for like our understanding of reality.
So like in my mind, Jake, he goes home, he just goes in the closet.
I just hang out there.
Yeah.
But when he's not,
turns off.
but if he looks, I'm just walking around doing home stuff.
That's a great one of my favorite 30 Rock lines from Tracy Jordan. He's like, I'm Tracy Jordan. When I go to sleep, nothing in the world happens. But it's just like humanity is both like obscenely creative and ingenious or ingenious or whatever. The
ingenuity, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, so lazy and unoriginal. So it makes sense to me. And if we're the universe experiencing itself, it makes sense to me that the universe would be both this inexplicable and original and incredible thing, but also really lazy.
Like retold
yeah,
5 people down the line.
I would honestly argue that if we are the universe experiencing itself, we're all resting on our laurels at the end of the day, right? Like that's just such a natural thing. Well, I did that. Remember that one hit? Big bang, motherfucker. I'm just gonna rewrite that a bunch. Yeah.
And we're incredibly narcissistic, and
yeah,
we think we're the center of everything.
That's right. That's absolutely right. But yeah, what'd you guys learn today?
Jesus is Lord.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Dan?
know what else there is.
Content aggregation, recycling. That's what I said earlier.
Yeah, Christianity's the fuck Jerry of all really dope secret right religions. I learned.
Can I tell you this as a Catholic to a Jew?
No, you can't. I don't want to hear it.
And with that said,
Adapt or die.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, that false witness commandment, that one's kind of loosey-goosey these days for us. But yeah, I think the thing that I learned that was so funny is like all of these ancient ritual schools are just what frats are based off of.
Oh, my
It's
God.
like, get them fucked up, throw them around in the dark room, then you bring them to the party.
You're like, you did it. You're going to live forever.
Yo, what do you got to be scared of? We hazed you for 9 months. You're good. Or 9 weeks or whatever it is. Yeah.
upload that consciousness.
Yeah. Who's Hitler?
Honestly, religion.
Kind of.
Just in general.
I would say the guy that
Most of our issues are all dated back to this made-up thing.
yeah, I think it would
Totally
if there
disagree.
if there was a Hitler, it's probably the people that narked on the dude that was just trying to party on the Eleusinian
Yeah, those are the
magic.
Religion's whatever you want it to be.
All right, fine. It's not religion then. It's people's sense of purpose. That's
Hitler. Holy fuck.
Trying to find that you mean something to this world.
Needing meaning.
Needing meaning.
Hitler.
Man in search of his soul is Hitler.
Yes.
Look, who was trying to find more meaning than Hitler?
Did I?
He was trying to find all the meanings.
Did I just
dude.
uncrack the universe?
Yeah. Your search for humanity is actually the thing that's making you less human every day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just
on that,
embrace it. Just kind of get in on the suck.
yeah, just be a little piggy. Anyway,
Whatever. Just hang
Be a
out.
little truffle
Just
pig
hang
like
out.
Jake.
yeah, go
Bring it
forage in the
full
woods.
circle.
Yeah,
There's no great thing you're going to do that's better than just like having a nice day.
oh no, that's the best thing you can do.
Enjoy the people you're around.
Be pleasant.
Try not to hurt anyone.
And for Dan Regester and Rob Fox, I'm Jake Goldman.
You just got soft serve.